Good morning. My name is Edward Sanshin Oberholzer. I'm the resident priest and guiding teacher here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're an affiliate of Empty Moon Zen. As I putter around the house on these cold, icy mornings, I find myself accompanied by all kinds of mental detritus, lists of things to do, making an appointment to take the cat to the vet, getting gas for the snowblower, starting my taxes, sending out the order of service for tomorrow's UU Zoom worship, arguments I could have had and won, arguments I didn't, doomsday scenarios, and earworms. Do you get earworms? For those of you not so blessed, there are those annoying and often banal little ditties that you just can't shake. Some people walk around with the latest hits running through their heads. I'm old enough to remember the line, "You'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent," and have it threatening to sneak into my daily life and set its tone for the rest of the day. Sometimes I imagine myself on my deathbed, my mind slowly disassembling itself like HAL 2000 in the movie 2001 as Dave removes its memory cores and HAL slowly devolves into that infantile version of itself, offering to sing, "Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due." What will then emerge when I'm on my own deathbed from the depths of my own mind? Pepsodent? The theme to the Jetsons? I've been warning my son and daughter not to be horrified by what I might deliver in my last moments. But fortunately lately my earworms have acquired some taste, and I find myself walking around with bits and pieces of Beethoven's late string quartets or a Brahms piano trio popping up in my consciousness. Not a bad accompaniment if your life needs a soundtrack. Pleasant. But still, I don't always need to be haunted. Robert Louis Stevenson reminded us that our world is full of so many things. I'm sure we all should be as happy as kings. My mind is filled. And like a cornucopia, it spills out all its indiscriminate, unkept abundance, good, bad, tasteful, tasteless, useful and on point, and frankly beside the point. This does not necessarily make me any happier, certainly not as happy as kings, nor does it make me any more present, any more attentive, any more in the moment. And I'm sure I'm not alone. The Zendo is no escape. If anything, it's worse. I sit down on the Zafu and allow what arises to arise, and what comes up? Beethoven, Bach, Pepsodent, lines from the Lotus Sutra, the Three Refuges, or my father's favorite poem, The Face on the Barroom Floor. I can be smug when my mind spits out the exalted. I can be chagrined when what emerges is trite. Often enough, I find that my mind goes to whatever I'm supposed to be doing next in that day's ceremonies or in the sitting. Do I bow when I first arrive at the altar to offer incense? Or when I take that side step to the right? When I leave the altar, do I turn clockwise or counterclockwise? Have I arranged my robes properly as I sit? Am I sitting on my okesa? Does anyone notice? And then there's that pesky Dharma talk coming up. Is it next week? Was it Yun Men or Lin Ji who said every day is a good day? Should I talk about the Sandokai? How about the Lotus Sutra? Just where is that copy? Where to begin? Here's a good start. I'll bring up that time when, and then I remember that I'm just sitting, just being here with what arises. Maybe I should go back to counting my breath, but I'm doing the work of the Dharma. All those thoughts, all those distractions, they're all for the good of the Sangha. They're all the work of the Dharma. Surely there's an allowance for that, special dispensation for thinking only Buddhist-related things. for being distracted by the Dharma. I'm being distracted, after all, by austerity, not by a weekend in Cancun. It's easy enough to find bits and pieces of the Dharma to take your mind off just being here, all those years mulling over the longer koans, trying to remember just how that encounter goes at the end of the Fox koan, just trying to memorize them. Why can't they all be short? Mu, just mu. Do I really need to memorize a page-long piece? Tahui took this on in the early days of koan practice. In instructing his students to meditate on their koans, he reduced the koan itself to merely one word or phrase, a hueto, a nailhead, eliminating the excuse to launch into discursive thought. It feels like I give too much credit to the contents of my mind to call those contents discursive. The Beverly Hillbillies? Whether we're low on milk? Should I shovel now before the snow gets soaked through with sleet? No, I save discursive thought for the disaster-preventing Durrani, and whether I can persuade Cambridge to drop the buffalo drum and do what any normal Zendo would do and use the Bokukyo. It's so easy to be distracted, and it's even easier to allow that distraction to seduce us. But especially if we know that in following the distraction, we think we're following the way. When Siddhartha sat down that long night under the Bodhi tree, Mara sought to turn him from the path by providing his most beautiful daughters as temptations. And what are they compared to the distractions of the work of the Dharma? The Buddha called the earth as witness to stand by him in the face of Mara's temptations. But what if the temptations are the Dharma itself? What if they are serving the Sangha? What was it that Wumen tells us? In Robert Aiken's words, when you meet the Buddha, you kill the Buddha. When you meet Bodhidharma, you kill Bodhidharma. When I sit, the question arises of how I offer incense at the altar, and in that moment, that's the time to take out the sword of Manjushri and cut the question off at its knees and return to just sitting. When plotting out the next Dharma talk raises its head, cut through that thought, Buddha or no Buddha, Dharma or no Dharma. Even these are the temptations of Mara. Cut them down and just return to the breath. Just return to the cushion. Here is our great work. To just sit. To just be here with our attention. Only this. There's time for Brahms later. Thank you.